Just vacuumed there. Look who it is, everyone. Chop's back. Oh, so it's Aussie Day, and Chop thought he'd come waste his public holiday helping me out, the good egg. So anyway, we found a few problems with my welding. Chop sorted it all now. We had a bit of a misalignment with this one, so I hit up Vinny and I said, hey mate, don't need to alarm you, but have you ever checked your clamps? Mine's leaking. And he just said, yeah, they should be all good. Turns out it was that on the piss. It wasn't cock on at all. And then in transport, the intercooler had a bit of a knock to it as well, so there was a few things, but Chop got it sorted. Then you Chop.
Oh, bonza. Easy, mate.
It's all good now. And now we're putting, and by we, I mean Chop, is putting some lights on. These are brand spankers. Yeah. And I'm just going to keep tinkering away underneath the car. Put the tail shaft on, a few bits and pieces, start filling up with oil. And then once the headlights are in, we're going to chuck the radiator in. And pretty much fire it up, I think. I think there's a few little electrical things I need to do, just tidy up. And then once it's fired up, I'll start finishing off the exhaust. Yeah. And then there's a few things I need to do in the boot. I just need to fix up some fuel pump stuff, tidy all the relays up and get the battery back in there. So making good progress. A couple of days later, and we are on to something that is very crucial, and I just have to share a very awesome snap-on tool. So I'm just going to chuck you on the old 3-footed monster here. Ooh. Okay guys, so doing your pulleys up. So obviously your belts, sorry. So doing your belts up, there's a few things you need to make sure of. Obviously I showed you how to, actually I don't know if I did. Quick little interruption for a good old pro tip. This is your power steering pump. I'll show you in a second once I've got it out of this really good, ridiculous camera mounting position. Power steering pump, crank pulley. So before you do this belt up tight, chuck a straight ruler on your crank pulley, and it's not going to line up perfect with the outside of this pump. So just sit it there, chuck another one on your power steering pulley and turn them until they're lined up perfectly with each other and make sure they're dead straight. So I'm going to try and hold these and then move the camera. So long story short, I had these sitting like this, overlapping the whole way, and it was even. So they're not going to be butted up perfectly together because the lip on this is bigger than the lip on here. The belt's straight, don't worry about the belt. It's just making sure that both flat surfaces are cock on with each other. So yeah, and then there's so much movability in this bracket, it's ridiculous. So 3 bolts, and have it up firm just so you can knock it back and forth until it's spot on, and then do it up FT. And then you can do your belt up tight. So yeah, you'll never ever have a power steering belt fly off again. Unless it's a second-hand cruddy one. Or it was brand new, you've done it up, not gone and retensioned it. So there you go. That might be in this video. I showed you how to line up power steering pump with the straight rulers. Now, when it comes to tightening the belts, there's like, everyone just goes FT, crazy. It's ridiculous. Some people go too loose, and you make more smoke off your frickin' belts than you do your rear tyres, you bloody fools. Anyway, Snap-on have this new tool. It's an extension, what would you call it? It's just genius, really. That's all it is. So you have your normal 3/8 bit on the end here, right? And on the end, you just got wherever you want to put like your ratchet or your frickin' breaker bar. It's 3/8 though, right? 3/8. This is 3/8. 3/8. So anyway, as you can see, real skinny. So it's hard to get down in the hole here. So you put your socket on this end, right? And then you chuck your ratchet on this end, and look, you see that? Look at that. There's a big chain. Big chain goes all the way through here. It's freaking genius. So you can just pop that bad boy down there. Have a look. Right. So you just pop that down there. Real hard to get to freaking joint, alright? And you can just, come on man. Don't let me down. You don't want to go on, do you? Get on there. Okay. It's been a pain in the ass. So now, you can clearly see I'm turning the engine over with that. It's freaking cool, isn't it? How good. So then you can just ratchet up the top here. Anyway, the whole point of this entire thing is so as you're tightening up your alternator belt, soon as it's tight enough to turn the engine over from your alternator, don't put your freaking socket on your crank and go, oh yeah, I'm turning the engine over, but the pulley's tight. No, it's not how it works. You've got to be on the alternator, because that's where the belt's connected to the crank. Not your water pump either. Don't go spinning your freaking 10 mils there. Big 24 mil dog down there. As soon as you can start turning the engine over with your alternator, your belt's el pronto. Job done. You don't need to do it up anymore or any less. Then you nip up the 12 mil on the back there. You see him down there? Nip him up. Where is it? Back there or something. I can't really see. Need my snap-on LED down there. Job done. Pro tip. G'day. You got a laptop. You know what that means. Chea, I was on the phone call with Chea, and he logged on to the old Sonny. We had a quick little catch up. I haven't seen him in so freaking long, ever since this COVID bull crap started. Long story short, the Sonny is running. Now I couldn't film it, guys, because you got to understand, building this thing ourselves. You know, between me and Darren, I've never ever done a complete engine, you know, bottom to top. Even though Darren did the whole head on his own, assembling it, like it runs. It's all good. It's sweet. The thing is purring away, but it was running on 5. Spark plug 1, as you can see, has got nothing on it. There was no fuel. So injector is blocked. Apparently these are renowned for it. These freaking. So yeah, we will be going to Sydney. We have to. I got to make it happen. Underneath there, I've seen a tiny bit of oil. That's all I've seen. So the drain is probably not sealing. I can't remember if I've done it up 100%. I would have, surely. But yeah. So what I'm going to do is I got one last little fabrication bit to do from the fuel pump, the power steering pump. I'm going to fabricate up a little jiggy that comes straight into here. So I'm going to make a plate out of stainless, and I'm just going to have a little 90. It sort of comes up like that, and then just run a little rubber hose from there to there, like a little tiny sucker, not much. But just got to keep in mind how much that moves. Alright, so when you're undoing it, you don't want it to bottom out on here. You want to be able to. So I just need a tiny little, maybe not 90, or maybe just go 45 or something. But anyway, freaking thing runs. It's good. It's good. Like, I know I've done a lot of stuff to the RBM3 before, and that engine is worth like a freaking house. You know, doing the timing belt, changing all that before, and it's real nerve-wracking. But for some reason, this just I don't know. I think it's because I had so long of a period in between doing stuff. So I'd put a few bits together, disappear for weeks, come back, do a little bit more, disappear. Like, it wasn't all just done in one single hit. So yeah, it freaking runs. I'm so pumped. This is sick. Alright, I've got to put this spark plug back in before I forget. Get these injectors out and figure out a plan of how I'm going to Sydney. So, gotta make this happen. Alright guys, that's it for today, or this video. We'll be back with a master plan and we're gonna do some crazy stuff while in Sydney. We have to. Peace.